Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another Doctor Who video. Today we're going to be discussing your theories. Yes, that's right, your theories. I asked you over on the Confused Adipose Instagram page to give me your theories for what the upcoming Children in Need mini-sode of Doctor Who to celebrate the 60th anniversary and, I assume, set up the 60th anniversary 3 feature-length specials, which are beginning to air later this month, what the contents of this mini episode of Doctor Who will be. And I'll also give you a little theory on what I think it could possibly be, and yeah, we'll try and work it out from there. Unless you've been living under a rock, you'll know that Doctor Who has a very sort of long and rich history of doing Children in Need mini-sodes. Way back at the beginning of Russell's first era, we had Born Again, which I can see a very similar thing happening here. Maybe it'll even be called Born Again, because back in 2006, David Tennant's 10th Doctor, freshly regenerated from the 9th, has a little mini episode where he interacts with Rose, gets to know himself a little bit, talks about Barcelona, and Rose looks absolutely terrified. And that was a sort of nice little transitional scene which doesn't really need to go in the Christmas Invasion because you get the gist of the story without it, but it's a nice little addition for any enthusiasts who want to see exactly what happened after the 10th Doctor regenerated and leading up to when he crashes into the bins at the beginning of the 2005 Christmas special. We also, over the years, have had, like, Jodie Whittaker's era had this stuff, which wasn't necessarily a mini-sode. I think they showed a preview clip of Kabam, which was the episode that was going to come out that week. This was just like a nice little documentary sort of thing where some kids got to go and visit the set of the Tardis, meet Graham, Ryan, Yaz, the Doctor. But I think the difference now is this is going to be an actual mini-episode written by Russell T Davies rather than it being a little documentary piece. Like, I think David Tennant's going to be in character. Also, obviously, Twice Upon a Time, they showed an advanced preview clip and we have this little picture here. And if we want to go way back, I mean, I saw someone mention it in one of your suggestions over on Instagram, which we'll get to in a minute, but yeah, Dimensions in Time. Who remembers that bizarre Doctor Who outing? Before we get into your theories, I'd like to pose mine. I reckon a really cool way to do a little bit of multi-Doctor stuff in the most cheap and practical way possible is the 10th Doctor meeting the 14th Doctor. Like, how cool would that be? And all that would require is David Tennant and just David Tennant. I mean, you could do it in the new TARDIS set, or I'd imagine they still kind of have the 10th Doctor's TARDIS set, at least from the Doctor Who experience, somewhere in storage, because, I don't know, I didn't really see many parts of that used in the Tales of the TARDIS, so maybe they kept it separate for another reason. And also, just for the public, that would be such a fun thing, and it's a very clever way of establishing to the general public, who may not have been watching Doctor Who for many years, the 10th Doctor and the 14th Doctor are different people, and the 60th specials that are yet to come are not just jumping back into the 10th Doctor. This is the 14th Doctor, who does look like the 10th, but there's been, yeah, many years difference. Just whack David Tennant in the 10th Doctor's clothes, do some hair jelly stuff, maybe put on a bit of makeup to try and slightly de-age him, and then let him have a chat with the 14th Doctor. Something like that would be really fun. I mean, we've already seen 2 David Tennants on screen together with the Metacrisis 10. There's so many David Tennants running around everywhere. We could even go for like a mini multiverse of David Tennants where you get the Metacrisis Doctor in as, like, obviously a comedy sketch, because we don't want anything that would sort of break canon. But the Metacrisis Doctor, the 10th Doctor, the 14th Doctor, I do have a video breaking down every role David Tennant's played in Doctor Who, which go and check out, David Tennant Iceberg, give it a look. But yeah, I think that's a fun little possibility, and it's a good way of Russell sort of joking with the fans of like, oh, you are getting a multi-Doctor 60th, so shut up. Because yeah, he keeps mentioning in Doctor Who magazine, etc., that the actual 60th anniversary specials are not multi-Doctor, so yeah, this would just be a nice little thing. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. 10th Doctor meets the 14th Doctor, fingers crossed. But we'll get into your suggestions. So, first one here from Liam Christopher Brown. He'll say what at the end? Yeah, no, I think that's a very fair assumption. I mean, David Tennant and Russell T Davies do love their what's. So yeah, fingers crossed for a what. Nerd Den Real says, Nerd Den appears. Yeah, 100%. Mark his words. When Nerd Den appears, he said it here first. Yeah. Freya Coley says David Tennant will regenerate into David Tennant, who will regenerate into David Tennant. Yeah, this can play into the idea I suggested a minute ago. David Tennant with another incarnation of David Tennant and another incarnation of David Tennant. It would be very funny to see him just keep repeatedly getting shot, like by a Dalek, then by a Cyberman, then by a Sontaran, and he just keeps regenerating into himself. That would be brilliant. That's quite a nice little idea. And it's got that comedy element you want from Children in Need stuff as well. Edward the Nerd says the Doctor will probably crash somewhere and meet Pudsey or a single Dalek. Edward's taking us right back to the realistic expectations for this mini episode. It's probably not going to be anything major, it's going to be very low budget, so Pudsey or meeting a single Dalek makes sense, especially because Russell said recently in Doctor Who magazine that the Tardis is headed for Skaro or something, which I think was probably a nice little reference to the fact that the original Dalek serial has been colourised and sort of remastered for the 60th anniversary. And obviously the Doctor meeting Pudsey, it's kind of happened before. We had like that 12th Doctor sketch with Eddie Redmayne where he's talking about Pudsey. Something like that could be kind of fun, but I hope it's a little bit more Doctor Who-y, and I feel like Russell, his minisodes, like they did Time Crash ages ago, stuff like that is, yeah, that's more substantial. Fingers crossed we'll get something like that for the 60th. Cardi Devage, I've probably butchered that name, apologies, says the Temple Noble family's POV before the events of the 60th. Yeah, that could be quite funny, like if it's Donna and her family out shopping or something just before the 60th, then we get the little like teaser of the TARDIS comes in. You could do a nice little sketch with Catherine Tate there. Something like that could be kind of cool, although I think maybe it would be more likely to be the 14th Doctor's POV, because we know David Tennant's in it, so rather than him cropping up at the end, I reckon it will be mainly focused around him, especially to sort of bring in a general public audience. They're mainly attracted to David Tennant, and not just physically. But yeah, I don't know. Nice idea. Dr. Disco says, on a serious note, it'll be nice to connect the DWM Dalek comic to landing in Camden. Yeah, that does make sense, because, yeah, since October of last year, there's been this ongoing, I think it's called Liberation of the Daleks stuff in Doctor Who magazine. I'm not much of a Doctor Who comic reader myself, but I know a lot of people have been following that story, and Russell said when it began, it is an official sort of journey of where the 14th Doctor goes before the 60th, and I think the final issue came out this week, and it doesn't end with him landing in Camden. So yeah, if there are Daleks or anything, despite Russell saying recently there will be no Daleks, yeah, it's probably going to be in this mini-episode. Jackamigo16 says, would love all new Who Doctors to be in it, having a conversation about whose TARDIS is better. That would be brilliant. That would be so fun. But alas, I think the budget would not allow for the likes of Matt Smith, Eccleston. Also, Eccleston wouldn't do it, and I don't think Capaldi would do it either. It would be great, but sadly I don't think it would happen. Something good, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all we need. As long as it's fun, who cares? I hope it's good. That's it. A new TARDIS interior reveal. That could be really cool, but also I'm kind of hoping they keep it under wraps till the actual episode. Obviously, there's been the leaks, people have kind of seen it, but it was only half constructed. It would be nice to see it fully, but I kind of want to wait till the Star Beast to fully go, oh my god, this new TARDIS, rather than it just being in a Children in Need episode. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. Turn on the notification bell as well if you're really, really cool. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.